everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure on the Tomb of Annihilation, Part 15. Today is July 26th, 2020, and you are loved. And that is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of our games. If this is your first time tuning in, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of every show that we've done since the start of this channel over 2 years ago. And if you're more of an audiocast inclined individual, you can go towards where anywhere audiocasts are made available for free. You can find us under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made currently for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can find our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community, but also from each other. And you can also find a pinned post for a giveaway that we are doing, which is open until August 7th. Basically, you just need to make an entry. I believe that's how Cyberwolf has set it up. Is that just a base submission to either get yourself in our game as a possibility for the Monday and Thursday night campaign, or you can get I believe a item of Tiamat merch of your choosing. I think that's what we originally did it, and if we didn't, then hey, I guess I'm changing the rules maybe. If you would like more Tiamat merch, you can go to Indoor Adventure, no S at the end, .redbubble.com. We have t-shirts, we have posters, we have mugs, and now we also have face masks that have the symbol of Tiamat upon them in all of her 5 glorious colors. We have white, red, black, blue, and green, all available for you. And all of the proceeds that we get from the face masks go towards COVID research. So, hey, consider checking that out and maybe give yourself like a 30% boost to your poison resistance IRL while doing it. It's a good time. So, speaking of good times, hey RJ, who you playing today?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ, and I'm altering the deal. I'll be playing Walmorn, the barbarian, fighter, shifter.
All right, and GB, who are you playing?
Today I'll be playing Nazrat, the friend of the jungle, halfling, ghostwise halfling, druid.
Hey everybody, I'm Wings. I'm going to be playing as Baz the Drow Rogue Fighter.
I'm the Indoor Adventurer, and tonight I shall be playing as Teshvael de Falarin, Mark of Shadow Paladin.
And I'm Tyler. I will be your DM tonight, and we'll start off with the recap. Last time, Nazrat, friend of the jungle, and his long-eared companion happened across an interesting bunch of adventurers. Split from their friends, they are intent on exploring the ruins of Omu, where so far they have been ambushed by evil Wanti. Now, having learned the legend of the 9 trickster gods, they aim to raid the shrines for the puzzle cubes, keys to the tomb. What dangers lie in Omu? Who is the King of Feathers? Find out on the Indoor Adventure presents The Adventures of Nazrat, friend of the jungle.
You bastard.
Anyway,
Beautiful.
you guys are holed up in a compound. I'm sorry, I broke Steven. You guys are holed up in a compound where previously it looks like the Red Wizards had been ambushed by Wanti. There was a single survivor, Orvex Okramis, professor, who you rescued, but were immediately beset upon yourselves by Wanti. You fought them off, and now that you have settled down, Orvex gave you guys the story of Omu, or more specifically, the 9 trickster gods, how they related to each other, and the fact that they were murdered at some point and buried in a tomb, the tomb of the 9 trickster gods. And to get in there, which he is very interested in doing, you need to go to their shrines, solve their puzzles, and collect their puzzle cubes. However, Orvex is close to death. He's suffering from 3 levels of exhaustion, and it is still about not even midday yet, the second day that you guys have arrived at Omu. Tesh, Baz, and Racket, you still haven't had any contact with RinRin, Hassan, or Azaka. And Wally and Nazrat, you're just along for this fun ride. What would you guys like to do?
Tesh is going to ask Summerwise if they could possibly do a loop, see if they can find where RinRin, Azaka, Hassan, anyone that they might know might be. But if they encounter any danger in the air, like Terrafolk or some other flying levels of bullshit, just come back to me, my sweet pet.
Do you want him to do like a full loop of the city, to start out small and keep going out, or
Just like a base perimeter, because like we landed on the outside of the city, so kind of just like spiral in, see if you can find anything.
Okay, yeah, he'll start from center and start doing a perimeter to see if he can't find where your friends are.
And if he finds them, stay with them.
Okay.
And just like every like set of time, just like brain blast.
Link,
yeah.
The telepathic link is what, 100 feet?
120, I believe.
Okay. Cool. He'll give it his best.
Because he's my sweet little boy.
He
Baz is
salutes you
going
and
to
flies off.
Sorry. Baz is going to keep up a patrol. He will establish maybe a 100-foot perimeter around the camp and just keep an eye out.
The compound that you guys are in is probably like 150 feet length and width-wise. So like 100 feet outside of that, or just like around the perimeter of this compound?
100 feet outside the compound.
And the first hour of which you were invisible. But if you're going to be keeping this up all day, I'll need you to go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Okay. I'm good at those. So long as I don't roll... Why do I have to tempt fate? It's a 10, but I rolled a nat 1.
Oof, okay. You're keeping up a perimeter. I'll get back to you. Nazrat, Wally, and Tesh. Orvex, as soon as you guys, Racket tends to his wounds and gives him some water out of the alchemical jug, and he just conks out. So it seems like he's going to be taking a long rest right now. You guys, it's only been like 6 hours since your last long rest, not even. So what would you guys like to do?
We're parking it here, though, just to keep a low profile since we made a mess up in the thoroughfare.
Yeah. You haven't exactly explored all of this area yet. So far, you've been in like the main courtyard area where the pyre of charred snake skeletons were. There still are at least a dozen bodies and scattered around this courtyard, and a lot of buildings that you haven't even are just completely overgrown with vegetation.
Teshvael, you hear in your head, my friend, you say that you have companions that are missing? I may be able to help.
And Tesh, like, now that he knows that this is just a thing that you do, he turns to face you just so that way, like, he can see, like, facial expressions and it's not a phone call. Zoom versus just Discord. And he will say, yes, we seem to have lost track of several of our friends. A young tabaxi named RinRin, a Yuan Ti named Hassan, and I'm not actually sure what Azaka is, but they appear to be human.
Well, I could send a message to them. Ask the clouds to give them word.
You can ask the clouds and the clouds can respond?
They will do my bidding.
What would you say? Or have the clouds speak to them?
Whatever you choose. Up to 10 words.
I think that whatever we put up there might be read by more than just the right people.
You could just tell them you're okay.
I wouldn't want to risk it.
We're talking about the sky ride.
Yes?
Mr. Nazareth, I don't think that's a real good idea.
Mr. Nazareth, this isn't the first group of people that I have befriended since entering into this jungle. I brought my own friends with me, people from my house, and we were turned upon by Yuan Ti. I don't want them knowing anything about us, whether we are okay, whether they are injured. I'm sure they will find out in their own time. But even the information of them knowing that we have somebody capable of doing things such as you, I would rather that be a surprise.
Okay, whatever you want.
Baby.
Sorry for your loss, Mr. Teshvael.
It happens from time to time. You don't get to be over 200 years old without losing a few people you're close to.
Wally's taken aback. Well, if it's any consolation, you don't look a day over 125.
Well, thank you. I like to think that I have a very youthful expression.
You're not like 300 years old, are you, Mr. Nazareth?
Oh,
Nope. I don't know how old I am. Mr. Bigglesworth has taken care of me since I was very small.
Baby.
And then he does pull Bigglesworth out of his pouch, and he like rolls him kind of like a dice, and he's like,
Bigglesworth, to my side!
and he rolls up into Bigglesworth, the gorilla, and I'm like,
All right, my friend, let us move these bodies.
and we start dragging the bodies to the pyre.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, there are a lot of bodies here. Most of them appear to be mercenaries, though all of their equipment, weapons, any reasonable armor that isn't broken seem to have been already confiscated by them. You guys do have to kind of shoo off some wild dogs that are munching on a body. But of the bodies that you find, there are 3 in red robes with bald heads and very sallow-looking faces.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't have anything outwardly appearing to be like useful, not valuable, but useful, Nazareth wouldn't even think of it, and so him and Bigglesworth will move the stuff, and then I guess I'll take the time and as a ritual cast Speak with Animals and talk to the dogs and tell them that they may eat the bodies later, but for now, move along.
All right, yeah, no, awesome. They are a little skittish, but when you speak with animals, they're a lot more receptive. And, food, want food, hungry, bork, bork. That's how they talk.
Well, I appreciate your conversation. Yeah, okay.
Baz, Danae, Wings, whatever. Roll me a D100, please.
Don't like that. There you are. Get in there. 68. That's exactly how old I am.
That's hilarious. Roll a D6.
Oh no. 2.
2. All right.
This sounds suspiciously like an encounter table.
What? No, I wouldn't do that. Not right now. As you are, walking the perimeter, 100 feet out on each side will put you pretty much on that big thoroughfare, but you're kind of skirting around the edges of it. And on the west side, you get kind of close to a very prominent-looking building. It's got a large, really muddy-looking pool and a walled building that you can make out a gate to enter it. And in the center of this murky-looking pool is, hold on, just want to make sure. Outside of the pool are toppled monoliths that have seemed to fallen into the pool itself. There are rope bridges that once spanned the water, and in the middle of the pool, there is a statue of a stone frog just peeking above the water.
Huh.
But just keeping to your 100-foot perimeter, you don't actually go towards that shrine. You can just make it out. And as you're making your loop, you feel a crunch in the ground beneath you and a buzzing. And several giant wasps burst out of this nest in the ground that you have just stepped on.
Oh, fuck.
So roll initiative.
Oh, no.
So on our first day out in the jungle, I accidentally stepped on a wasp nest, and well, that wasn't too good.
You know, I don't think I've ever actually stepped on any wasp.
In the meantime, however, Stephen, Tesh, you get a frantic telepathic message, and you look up and see Summerwise speeding towards you, and in trail there are 5 gargoyles.
Oh, no.
My
And
sweet boy.
2 of them have a net between them, so everyone roll initiative.
I got a dirty 20.
Okay.
21.
24.
Jeez. Okay.
Haha, you teased me about having the alert feat, and I've got the lowest initiative, 16.
So would you roll like a 5?
Exactly. An 8. I rolled an 8.
And 21 was Tesh. And this needs to be... Oof. Well, I did not expect that.
Did we take a short rest?
Yeah, you guys have definitely taken a short rest since the last encounter. Let's put that as... Sorry. Gotta prepare now this random encounter since Baz decided to step on a giant wasp nest. Bzzz, they say.
Quick question. Sunlight?
Yes. Actually, it's... Yeah, no, sunlight. Summerwise is going to act on your turn, Tesh. And you can decide what he does. He has a flight speed of 60. All right. So, like I said, for the guys in the courtyard, Tesh is alerted by Summerwise that he's being chased. And you look up and see Summerwise darting down at you guys from about 100 feet away, being trailed behind by some gargoyles. They're still probably 160 feet away. Meanwhile, Baz, these 2 giant wasps have popped out of their nest. They are rather sizable. At the top of the round is Wally.
Gargoyles are 160.
Yes.
I'm gonna bonus action shift to get 40 feet of movement.
Mm-hmm.
Twirl out my gun as I run out. And I'll try to find cover next to a building.
Yeah, absolutely. You can easily find cover amongst these ruins.
Cool. Action hold action when they're close enough. I'll pot shot one.
All right. What range?
My range is 40, 120. So
At 120 or 40?
120 would be at disadvantage. So closer, better.
Okay. So you're hoping to wait until they get within 40 feet to take your shots. Shots? Yeah.
Shot. Yeah.
Cool. Action is held. Meanwhile, Baz, you were a little stunned by these bees popping out of the ground, and one of them aggressively flies at you and tries to sting you.
Oh, fuck.
For a 15 versus your AC.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. For 6 piercing damage, and you need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Oof, 11.
11. You're okay. However,
Oh, God.
You take half damage.
Ugh.
For 6 poison damage. Baz is going to get murked by some bees.
All right. I'm like 100 feet away from the compound.
Yes. Tesh.
Wait, so Baz is only 100 feet away from us?
He's 100 feet from the compound itself. He'd have to scale a wall. He's to the south of you.
Okay.
Summerwise is 100 feet to the north of you.
Gotcha. No, I was just more figuring like it took an hour to go 100 feet.
He's been walking all the way around the compound.
Gotcha.
Patrolling.
Gotcha. Okay. I get it
And
now.
he's what, like 100? He's
Oh,
like
in the
150
walled
feet away.
area. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. Where Orbix is on the map.
Yeah, I was thinking that Baz was literally like hopping onto the thoroughfare and like going all around the Lost City by themselves, not just like staying in our area. Got it. Got you.
I'd say
Okay.
Baz is somewhere just to the south of the compound.
Sounds good.
He's dumb, but he's not that dumb.
I am going to tell Summerwise to fly behind Wally.
Mm-hmm.
And he is going to pull out his sweet, awesome rapier. And I don't have any fucking spells left. So I am going to take a ready action with my Sacred Oath for the Conquering Presence. And when all of these creatures are within 30 feet of me, try and just scare them.
Okay. And that Conquering Presence just holds for a while, right?
Yeah, it's my channel divinity.
Okay, cool. Wally's about 40 feet from you, which means he's within 60 feet of Summerwise. So Summerwise can use their normal fly speed to land behind Wally and can ready an action to sting if he wants.
Most certainly. If the action to sting, actually it'll hold its action to dash.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if the gargoyles get within
like 20 feet of it, then just go like full movement away.
Abandon Wally and go to you.
No, like, because am I in front of Wally?
You are behind Wally.
Okay, so I'm getting up closer to Wally then, but Wally has
Okay.
like 40 billion feet of movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I'll get as close to Wally as I can, but Summer-wise just like go that way. Try like hide somewhere, you sweet baby boy.
Awesome. Cool. He will hold his action to run away if these gargoyles get within 20 feet of him. And you used your Conquering Presence and movement. Anything else on your turn?
Nope, that's it.
Cool. You are 10 feet behind Wally, but you are not in cover, as Wally is.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's my name. Don't wear it out. I'm gonna do a second wind as my bonus action. Okay. I gain back 6 hit points. Not the best, but not the worst either. And I'll accept that. The other wasp hasn't got an initiative, right?
No.
I'm going to pop off and assassinate on him, whip up my gun, and
you do have a guy within 5 feet of you.
That's fine. I'm in sunlight anyway. Everything would be at disadvantage.
Oh,
but
okay.
it's an assassination, so I would have had it. I also get advantage, so it cancels out.
Okay, so you're rolling at normal.
Yep. 10 to hit.
10 does not hit.
Action surge.
Okay.
17.
17 will hit.
Okay.
And if you hit and it hasn't acted, it's a critical, correct?
Yep, this is correct.
And you have your rifle out?
Yes. So, kablow! Rifle goes wide. Kablow! And then the rifle hits. So, 4... 13 piercing damage.
Fantastic. That is exactly lethal.
Oh my god. Amazing. All right.
A bee flies out of the ground and latches onto you and stings you. And as you're fighting it off, you shoot once, wild, reload, get it on target, and take that one out.
Okay. That's it for me.
Still standing next to this wasp that's gonna sting you?
Well, I could start running, but he'd sting me anyway.
Yeah. The rest of you hear the gunfire of Baz and know that he's not close enough to you to be shooting at these flying gargoyles. Speaking of flying gargoyles, a pair of them with a net between them are going to fly their 60 feet of movement. They were 160 feet back, so now they are within 60 feet of Wally. And I think they cannot throw that net that far. Hold on. Net as an item.
It's like 10 feet, I think.
Yeah. So actually, I think they're going to move. They're going to double move to get right up upon Wally, since Summerwise is there. And as they get within 20, or as they get within 40 feet, Wally.
Natural 20 for 28.
As is tradition.
Blah, 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 blah.
Tradition. Oh, that's garbage. A total of 20 damage on one.
All right. You whip up the pistol and plow. A chunk of its shoulder flies off. Actually, we'll say like half of its face gets blown off of its rocky face. Its grimace remains as it continues to fly towards you. And as it gets within 20 feet, Summerwise is like deuces and ready to action dash 60 feet across the courtyard past where Nazrat is. So they get up within in melee of Wally with their net, but they cannot attack. Speaking of Nazrat,
Bigglesworth, to me! And Bigglesworth clumps down. I interact, grab him, tuck him in my pouch so he can't get swiped and carried away by gargoyles. And I am, give me a visual. How far from them am I?
you are 40 feet behind Wally, where there are 2 gargoyles already in melee with him.
Okay.
Your conquering presence, they are within the 30 feet, Tesh.
I wanted them all to appear. Like, I'm waiting for all of them to come back.
All of them to
yeah.
there.
I mean, I'm not gonna blow conquering presence when I can hit everybody.
Okay.
Just save it.
Fantastic. Saving it.
I guess as my action, I will. I don't know any better that we're going to be attacked more than this today, so I'm going to go ahead and blow my other big spell. Right? Oh, wait. I've got 3 third level spells? Well, oh no, that is my last one because I conjured animals twice already. No, only once.
Only once.
Only once. Okay. So I will and I call into existence it's a Quetzalcoatlus.
Yeah, it's a Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah, it's the size of a giraffe, but it's a huge flying beast. It's like a giraffe, a stork the size of a giraffe, with like a neck like a giraffe and then a beak the size of the neck of a giraffe. And I cast it behind them.
Cool. Behind the
gargoyles.
Which set? Since there are still 3 that are more than 160 feet away from you, and there are 2 that are within 40 feet of you.
Okay.
You could put it like as far as you can,
right
between them.
Let me look at that real quick then. 60 feet is the range on it.
Okay.
So I guess, yeah, I call upon it into existence with my little halfling yell, and I'm going to put it 60 feet in the air, doing the C-130 circle around us to try to draw in those 3 that are upstairs and keep them off our back.
Okay. It is ready to go.
Okay.
When does it act?
I believe it's during my turn.
Yeah.
Immediately after.
Okay. Yeah. So it is summoned 60 feet, and it is ready to go.
Okay. Yeah, and it can fly. Oops, hold on.
It has a fly speed of 80 feet.
yes, it does. Oh, sorry. So on its turn, it flies 80 feet towards the ones that are in the air. Okay, so that's what, 120 feet altogether. That's 60 feet away, and then it flies 80.
Right. And I said they were 160, so it's getting close. It's
40-foot gap.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're going to have to get past it. Fantastic, because it is their turn, and they want to get with their other gargoyle buddies. So I think they're going to just try and... let's see. How dumb are they? No, they have orders, so they're going to go past your Quetzalcoatl, and to do that, they're going to have to double move, and to do that, your Quetzalcoatl will get a opportunity attack against one of them.
All right. Okay. It doesn't provoke an opportunity attack when it flies out of an enemy's reach. Oh, they're flying out of my reach.
Yes.
So this is just an opportunity. Okay. So then it is just a bite, which is +4. Oh, only a 14. Boy, the dice are against me tonight.
14 to hit will not hit.
Snap! This gigantic
Just-
beak. Okay.
Cool. So they go 60 feet past the Quetzalcoatl, and then 120 feet will put them in range of, I think, two of them go to, actually one of them goes and helps their buds out next to Wally, and two of them are going to be just, I think they make it to Tesh. So Tesh, all of them will be within 30 feet of you now.
Good, good. And now it is time to channel divinity. So they all need to make a wisdom saving throw, unless they are immune to the frightened condition.
Immunities. Nope.
Well, they get scared if they don't make a 13.
And it's wisdom.
Yes.
That's a 9, a 19, a 17, and a 10, and 16.
So 3 successes, 2 fails.
2 fails. I'll put one. It was this one, this one. Cool. Wally, it is your turn.
Bonus action, I would like to rage.
Okay.
So I'll take that off, and then I could pull my tomahawk as I try to swipe at one.
Okay. Yep, there are 3 in melee with you.
I'm gonna swipe at the one that I shot to try and
Cool.
chip it down.
Chip away.
Dirty 20
Dirty 20 will hit.
for 6 points of slashing damage,
Cool.
and he is marked by my bunny brigade.
He is your bunny brigade assaults, and he is marked. And that's disadvantage against attacks that aren't against you, right?
That aren't against me, and if they do hit, then the target gets resistance.
Oh, sweet. Jeez. Fantastic. Wonderful. Excellent. Is that all in your turn? Bonus and action?
Yeah.
Cool. On Giant Wasp F's turn, he still wants to sting away at Baz for a 13 to hit.
13's gonna miss.
Yeah. And that's its turn. It's Tesh. There are 2 in melee with you, 3 in melee with Wally.
Well, I am going to... I'll attempt to stab one.
Okay.
So there are 2 that are engaged with me. Are these the net boys?
No, the net boys are with Wally.
With young Walliam?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I will stab out at the the gargoyle that is closer to myself and Wally.
Yeah, there is 2. What did I say? 2 in melee
Yeah,
with you.
2 with me and then 3 with Wally.
Yeah, so you can stab out at one of the ones next to you.
Yep.
One of them is frightened.
Oh, I'll attack the scaredy pants. Give him a reason to know the meaning of fear. 19 to hit.
19 will definitely hit.
Okay. And then boop. 10 points of magical piercing.
And magical piercing it is, and quite effective, in fact.
And then, oh shit, I have a second attack! Haha! I was like, wow, this turn seems really mundane. 17 to hit.
Yes.
That is for 6 points of magical piercing.
Nice.
And then, do I have a bonus action I can do? Ha ha! No! I'm done.
Fantastic. Baz, this giant wasp is just trying to get at you with its big, giant, mean-looking stinger.
All right, there's a couple of things I can do here. over 100 feet away my party is.
Over 100 feet away.
And it is just one wasp.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to require some setup, but I'll see what I can do. Desperation move, darkness.
Perfect. If I'm going to have disadvantage, so are you.
Yeah, exactly. If I've got disadvantage, then so do you. Bah! So standard action, darkness. And then I am going to try and skirt around it and use my bonus action to hide in the darkness.
Wasn't your bonus action to cast darkness?
No, my standard action is to cast
standard
darkness.
action, cast darkness. Bonus action. Are you trying to get out of melee with it?
Not necessarily.
Okay. You are completely obscured, so you can hide. Roll it.
With advantage because I'm in the darkness?
It's treated as blinded, right? So that would give it disadvantage on perception checks. So that makes sense that you would have advantage on stealth checks. I mean, it would have disadvantage on attacks from you anyway.
Got an 18 for my stealth.
Okay.
And that's all I can do for now.
How long does darkness last?
It's a concentration, and it lasts for a minute, I believe. 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay. All right. There are 2 boys in melee with, actually 3, but these 2 act first. And one of them is going to try and cast a net on Wally.
I have Mage Slayer, so because he's trying to cast.
Oh, boy, that took me for a loop. A 7 doesn't hit.
No.
That's one of its melee attack. Sorry, let me just make sure I'm reading this right. Yeah, so it has to use its action to use the net as opposed to its multi-attack. But they want to net you, so the other one's also going to try and cast its net. It's a big net. They both get attacked for a 20 versus your AC.
That hits.
Cool. They net you. You are restrained. And together they are going to start flying. And I think they can, since they are hauling you away with this, they can only move half their movement. So they take flight, only going about 30 feet.
But it's like 30 feet up, right?
Yeah, like 30 feet in
cool.
a perpendicular, a tangential hypotenuse triangle. That's forced movement, so the other one doesn't get an opportunity attack against you. Nazrat.
Hey, that changed the situation a little. Oh, good.
You didn't move, right? You stayed where you were, or did you?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So they are flying now.
Which would put them about 70 feet from you.
Okay, that was the next question for spells. Yep. Okay. What is the closest I could get to them if I can move 25 feet is...
Yeah, you can move 25 feet in a straight line. You'll be just behind Tesh, and
Okay.
you'll be within, 45 feet.
Okay. All right. It's not enough. So I call out to my flying friend, and his objective now is to save Wally.
Fantastic.
Because I've got absolutely nothing to get close. So what I do is I use my bonus action as my little halfling bare feet are flapping on the stone. They suddenly turn into hooves, and then my hands come down and they turn into hooves, and I grow to be a prehistoric giant elk.
Nice.
And I am going to just smash into one of the ones near Teshvael.
Fantastic. Go ahead and roll your attack. Is it? It's a charge attack, right?
Yeah. And then bad things happen from there if I can actually hit.
Are you attacking the one that Teshvael's already stabbed, or the other one?
The other one, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
What do you think, Teshvael?
I think that's fine.
All right, the other one.
I wasn't expecting you to turn into a giant fucking elk, so like today's just been great. This is wonderful. Like no sarcasm. And whenever anyone says that, I know they sound sarcastic, but like this is awesome. I love this.
All right. I'm pretty sure this misses, but 17.
17 will hit the gargoyle.
Oh, yes. Okay, good. Let's just go back to the giant elk. And because he has been hit with the ram, it's going to be 4d6 plus 4.
Hell yeah. Roll it, sir.
I do not have a 4th d6 here for some reason. All right. So 10 and 6. Yep. 10 and 6 is 16 plus 4. That's 20. And now 20 points of bludgeoning.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs to make a DC 14 strength saving throw or be knocked on his butt.
DC 14.
Yep.
Unfortunately, he rolled really well and has a dirty 20.
All right. Well, then I'm going to stomp him with a hoof.
Fantastic.
Just to be like, you were supposed to be on the ground and make this easy. So I'm very as an elk. And then I miss. Wham! He saw the hoof coming.
Yeah, he steadied himself up with his stone wings slapping in the air, and definitely moved away from your stomp because you were expecting him to fall on the ground.
Majestic giant elf.
Majestic giant elf. It's fantastic. Well, on the rest of their turn, one of them that was just next to Wally is scared of Tesh and can't go towards Tesh. So he's not going to. He's going to go back after Wally and try and knock Wally unconscious, so taking him away will be easier for them. 2 attacks, one with its bite, one with its claws. Woof. The bite was a 7, the claws were a 16.
Misses both.
All right. However, the 2 next to Nazrat and Tesh, does your frightened give it disadvantage against you? I forget.
If it is frightened, let me check the conditions. Frightened is they have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight.
Okay. It has disadvantage against you. I forgot your Quetzalcoatl is going to dive bomb the ones carrying Wally, correct? So go ahead and roll your dive bomb attack because they is close.
All right. I was gonna say, okay. Okay, I miss. I totally miss. Like altogether a 9.
Okay. It has 80 feet of movement, so it can do a flyby and get outside of 30 feet, so it can dive attack again.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that's going to be its MO to just.
Oh yeah. Trying to save Wally, because it can carry him if it kills them or whatever, or if he falls. Yep. I hope.
He's only 30 feet up. It's fine.
It's.
He's raging.
That's right.
A 10 against Tesh does not hit.
No.
And how does a 14 against the giant elk?
Against the giant elk, I switched real quick. Oh my God, D&D Beyond, I love you so much. 14 armor class.
Okay. Have you played a game where I've run where I do it special if it matches?
I don't think so.
Oh no. What happens there?
So the way I do it is if you match AC, you can either do half damage or give advantage on its next attack on the next attack against the creature, or give the creature disadvantage on the next attack. These things have multi-attack, so it's going to give advantage on its second attack against you.
Okay.
which is fantastic because it just rolled 2 3s.
Woo! Yay! All right.
And the second attack against Teshvael was a nat 1 because of disadvantage. Anyway, that was those 3's turn, and we're back at the top of the round where Wally is restrained in a net, and you're about 30 feet off the ground.
I'm going to use my strength to burst out,
Okay.
which is at advantage because I'm raging. Clearly don't need it. 24.
24. A creature can use its action to make a easy check to break out. All right, you break out and fall 30 feet.
Cool, because I need to take damage to maintain my rage.
30 feet is 3d6, and that's a very easy 8 bludgeoning damage as you collapse to the ground in a heap amongst the buildings that you were just taking cover in.
Ow!
They don't like that. They want you.
I'm in dinner first.
Action, anything for your bonus action?
I don't think I have anything for my bonus yet.
You are prone, having fallen.
Right, so half my movement to get up and then another half to get out the building.
Cool. And you're essentially back where you started.
Yeah.
All right. A flying giant wasp is in the dark, panicking and trying to stab out at whatever its source of panic is. It has disadvantage because you are hidden and it is also blind. Which disadvantage is a 7 against you.
Nope.
Cool. That's its turn, Tesh.
I still have 1 on me.
You have
2
1
on
on
me.
you, 2 on you. The second one is attacking Nazrat, friend of the jungle.
That's fine. Nazrat is no mere friend of the jungle. Like, Tesh is just, like, consistently in awe of this small halfling. Like, big ups, playa. You do you. This is great. And Tesh is going to stab. Gonna do the thing he does best. Why did they have to be constructs? My sort of life stealing would trigger on the nat 20 I just rolled, but I don't think gargoyles are construct.
They are elementals.
Yeah, so triggers.
Oh my god. Sweet, so I'm going to be dealing an extra 10 necrotic damage and gain 10 temp HP.
Boy, oh boy.
God, feels good.
10 necrotic damage. They don't have any.
As well as 12 points of magical piercing. So they take a total of 22.
Oof. Oof. This thing just took a hell of a beating from you.
And I have 10 temp HP. This is great. This is the best case scenario. I'm attack again.
This is an absolute win, and you have a second attack.
14's not going to do it.
14 does not hit a gargoyle.
Nope. That's all right. It knows.
It knows. It doesn't like. No bueno.
Yep. That's it. That's all I can do.
Baz, you are hidden in the darkness. This bee is stabbing wildly. What would you like to do?
There's a clatter as the rifle drops and he draws his short swords.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna come for it. So he can't see in the darkness, so disadvantage. But the bee also can't see, so advantage. So cancels out.
You are technically hidden from it.
First one's a natural 1, so that's definitely gonna miss. But my bonus action to also attack. 16.
16 will hit. I'm
Okay.
getting the head shake of disapproval for rule leniency from Steven.
When you're a drow in a big bad world.
Look, no, I'm shaking my head because being in utter blackness, knowing there's a wasp also in the darkness with you is so like, fuck that. No,
Oh, it's fucking buzzing too. It's loud and
4-foot
buzzing.
wasp.
yeah, no, fuck that nonsense.
It's making like clickety clack noise with its legs and mandibles. It's all wet and like.
Yeah.
Baz, there's a Dairy Queen here, Baz.
Baz, there's a Dairy Queen.
3 slashing damage.
Tree.
That's my action, bonus action. I can't hide again.
Nope.
So
And it
Well-
still has disadvantage against you.
I mean,
Because-
I also can't see, so he should get it. Like same thing. It's
You were
even playing field.
hiding.
Yeah.
What's up, RJ?
No, I was just misremembering something. Never mind. Go ahead.
It's like I also can't see because it's magical darkness. You can't use dark vision in magical darkness.
No, you
Should have
cannot.
taken those levels in Warlock. Oh well.
Who knows? Maybe there will be a feat here that you can use soon where you can just have Warlock stuff.
You know what? Just
multi-class
let my
again.
sister know that like I'm a father because next time you find me, I'm gonna have eggs in me.
Tasty. Speaking of eggs, and not on that subject at all, we're going back to the gargoyles that are going back after Wally. These two are not frightened, so they can get closer to Teshvael, and they are going to swoop down and try and net you. How's a 15 versus your AC? Wallimorn.
Oh, if they're stopping next to me, I'm using my reaction to GTFO.
Sweet. Okay, they have to get within 5 feet of you to toss the net. So you use your action to your reaction. How many feet is that?
40 feet back to Teshvael.
Cool. He was only 10 feet away from you.
10 feet back to Teshvael.
Cool.
I got 2 dudes on me.
That's
Yeah,
fine. I'll
have a
park
net.
up next to one dude.
They used 30 feet to swoop down. They have another 30 feet to swoop back at you. They're not going to tussle with a giant elk. You are the tiny squishy one that they want to grab. So the first one was still a 14 to net you.
Miss.
Okay. And the second one is a dirty 20 to net you.
Son of a bitch.
They want you. However, they are going to do the drag. Actually, they can't because they used their movement already. So you are just in a net next to Teshvael. And 4 gargoyles. That's right.
All right. Unfortunately, I am in combat range of one that is still alive, correct?
Yes, you are.
But I'm a big F off elk with a ton of movement. So yeah, I make a loop. Doom, 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 doom.
Cool.
Go ahead and let
provoking
one...
an opportunity.
Yeah.
They love rolling 3s against you.
Nice. For I am Lord of the Forest. Vroom, 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 and I charge back so I can just stomp them.
Nice.
Charge attack. Oh fudge, 14. That misses. So I miss
14
with the
will miss.
ram. I try to stomp him with a hoof. And a dirty 21.
Yep, that'll hit.
All right.
Roll your hoofing.
Hooves. Oh my god. Okay. Hooves are 4d8.
That's a lot of 8.
I only have 3 out, so on those 3, that's 15. And 12, 13, 14, 15. And 2 more. So that was 6. Yep, 2 more. So, and 9. So 15, 15, and 9. 39. 39 of...
4, you said 4d8, right?
Oh, 48. Yes, I'm sorry. Yep, that would be, it would be 15. That's what I rolled on 3 dice. I'll just roll 1 more. So 20 points.
20 points. I mean,
Yep.
I'm all about you just stomping away.
Oh yeah, nope. I got it in my head that it was like the charge is, and it is not.
All right, your Quetzalcoatl is 30 feet up from. There's a lone gargoyle that is frightened of Tesh, so it can go after that one if you like.
And I believe it misses because it's only +4, I believe, to attack. Yes. So it gets a 13. Snap.
And fly by.
Yep.
Cool. On their turn, the one that is afraid of Tesh can't go towards you, right?
Nope.
It can't. it can't go at you. So it's stuck 60 feet out there, just like.
They get to repeat their save at the end of their turns.
Okay. Well, it had 2 turns, right? So it's still frightened of you. And the one right next to you, I'll repeat that save. For a, you said DC 14?
13.
Okay, so the one right next to you is no longer afraid. So 1 is still away. 2 are next to Nazrat and Tesh, and 1's going to try and hit Nazrat for a 17 to hit, and a 2 17s to hit.
As a giant elk, that indeed does hit.
Roll. That's 7 piercing and 5 slashing.
Okay.
And against Teshvael is a 17 to hit, which I don't believe hits.
No.
And a even worse. But it is no longer frightened of you. That one is. And we're back at the top of the round with Wally and Annette.
Tarnation. I'm
These
going
things are stickier
to.
than a molasses in January.
These things are stickier than a slug on a dry day. I'm going to reckless
Okay.
attack with my hand axe on the net.
Okay. Trying to break the net. It has AC 10 and what, like 5 hit points? Oh, it was supposed to do damage to you when they hit.
You could roll it now.
You'll just take 5 slashing damage, because you got hit twice and you have it because you were raging.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
I'm assuming a 11 hits the net.
Yes.
For 8.
Cool.
Slashing.
You slice through the nets recklessly.
Bonus action, gonna punch a gargoyle.
Straight up punching.
Actually, I could gun butt, right?
Yeah. I kind of rule that as like a simple weapon attack instead of an improvised attack. Did you got 20 with a gun butt?
Yeah. That's like what, a 1d4?
Yeah. You are a nerd.
Says the nerd. 7 and 2 and 2. 7 and 4 is 9, 11 points of bludgeoning.
Fantastic. Non-magical weapon though.
Y'all got any more nets you want to throw at me?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh, he's also marked by my bunny brigade.
He is marked by your bunny brigade. That was Wally's turn. It is now a bee's turn. It has disadvantage to stab at you. How is a 17?
Oh yeah, definitely hits.
Mm-hmm. This wasp is going to do some damage. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw again.
Sorry, how much damage was that?
7 piercing damage and a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay. Oh boy.
Best, don't die.
8.
Okay, that fails. Okay, he rolled low for 10 poison damage.
I have 1 hit point left.
Before? After that 10?
Oh, after.
Okay.
After that 10.
Cool.
Good you took those levels in, fighter.
Oh, maybe I should roll a concentration save for that darkness. I'm good.
Okay. Baz is going to die all alone.
Hey, do you still have a bonus action?
I mean, I haven't had a turn yet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Tesh.
She's also used her second wind.
Tesh, I have dudes nearby. I have All of these
You got
gargoyles.
4 dudes nearby.
There are so many men's. I'm going to stab at the one I've been stabbing at this whole time, because if it ain't broke, break it.
Yeah.
That is a 26 to hit.
Hits.
And that is going to be for 7 points of magical piercing.
Awesome. Second attack.
Alrighty. That's a 22 to hit.
That hits.
All right, so huzzah. For 6 points of magical piercing.
Fantastic. This thing has taken a lot of jabs from your very powerful and fancy rapier. It looks like it's on its literal last leg.
Well, won't do
think
me
it's
any
your turn.
good. Sit and turn.
All right. Baz.
Action disengage.
Okay.
Movement 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Into the woods. Bonus action hide.
Okay. Yeah. Roll your hide.
$19.
Okay.
That is my turn. I'm going to run
Fantastic.
towards my friends.
Okay. Yeah. In fact, you move 30 feet, so you'll be close to the wall to the courtyard. Just because on this side of the place you didn't actually get that full 100 feet away from the wall, so you were still within 50 feet of it.
Okay.
There are 2 gargoyles, and their net is broken. One of their buddies is really hurt, so one of them is going to attack RJ at advantage on both attacks because he was reckless. The other one is going to try and attack Tesh, who is starting to look like the bigger threat.
Is this the marked one attacking Tesh?
No, this is the non-marked one is attacking Tesh. Anyway, against Wally is a 23 for one attack and a 12 for the second attack. So the 23 hits, right?
Yep.
And that is 8 piercing damage. And then 2 attacks against Teshvael. That doesn't hit, and neither does that. It was like an 8 and a 3 on the dice. Not fantastic. Nazrat.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and take my chances with the opportunity attacks and gallop away and come swinging back around for another drive by.
Cool. The opportunity attack is a 22 to hit.
That is
For 7 piercing damage.
all right. Okay, and all right, here we go. Darker green is the ram. Okay, and they've cursed me.
Oh no.
So I got a 3 and a 4. So their double 3s have come to me. All right. So they're used to this trick now. They're like, duck.
Yeah. They've seen you come around again and again. Unfortunate. Your Quetzalcoatl.
You know what I'll do though, so I don't have to take the opportunity attack again because they already reacted this turn, is I will then gallop away because I have a movement of 60. So
Okay.
I went 20 out, 20 back, and 20 out again. So
Perfect. Yeah, they'd already used its opportunity attack, and
Yep.
because of the geometry, the others won't be within melee.
and the big guy. All right, big guy. Let's use the goblin dice here. Oh, is that a 1 or a 20? 20! Woo! Yeah, it's a little skull.
Okay.
So I was like, is that the 1 or the
Is that
20?
a good one or a bad one?
Exactly.
It's
so
a goblin
Natty,
critical. You never know.
exactly, exactly. All right, so 20 action and dive attack is. Oh, geez. Okay, so it's 3d6 because I'm diving. and then it's another 3d6 for the actual snap. So
Yeah, and both of those are doubled, right?
no, that is the doubling.
Oh, that is
you
the
get
doubling.
you get 3d6 for the dive, and then 3d6 for the bite itself. So
Well, yeah, but you got a crit, so all those
oh,
dice
but
are
I got it.
damage.
Oh my god.
So
Okay.
you're rolling 12d6
12d6 plus 2. Okay.
plus 2. I'll let you calculate that.
6 and 2 is 8. And 8 and 14 is Herrera.
8 and 14 is 22.
Thank you. So that's 6 dice so far. 22 and 11.
33.
And last batch of dice plus 2. Another 10 plus 2.
43 plus 2.
So 43 plus 2, so 45 total. Jesus. That'll be what, 22 because it's not magical.
Right. My elk damage is magical, by the way.
Oh, okay. Shit.
So, because I am 6th level druid.
Good. Fantastic. Wonderful. Excellent. Nazrat, after your turn and your Quetzalcoatl's turn, Baz, you feel a shimmering field appear around you, and you now have a +2 bonus to your AC as Racket finally found you. Because you were hidden in the darkness, but your run away and into the bushes has allowed him to cast Shield of Faith on you.
Bless. I hate to say, was he able to see me? Because I did hide.
He followed you on your hiding.
Okay.
And he's perched up on the wall. Anyway, there are 3 of these guys. One of them has to try and save from being feared, so it can join the melee. It fails. The other 2, one's going to go after Teshvael, and one's going to go after... Actually, it can't go after the elk, so they're both going to go after Teshvael. All right. 20 versus AC.
I'll use my reaction, defensive duelist, and I'll give myself +3 to AC. So for that attack, they needed a 22. Shucks, they didn't make it.
Shucks. 18 will fail?
Yep.
14 will fail?
Yep.
Or sorry, that was 16. And a 20.
20 will hit, finally. I need to get hit at least once.
8 slashing damage as they have been just slashing and gnawing at you with their claws and fangies.
Cool. My temp HP goes down to 2.
And go ahead and roll your saving throw.
What's mine for?
Your curse,
your
fool.
curse.
Oh, yeah! Whoops. 18.
All right, you, I believe, succeed. I don't have your sword up.
It's 15, I think.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Oh, yeah, that thing that happens to me every time I get hit.
Oh, I forgot I'm cursed.
There's something about being a paladin that just makes head empty.
Yeah.
It's like the Fae all over again.
Yeah, I need a 15 to succeed, but thankfully I have a +5 on my wisdom saves now.
Fantastic. Wally, it's the top of the round.
Sweet. I'm gonna trade my gun for my whip.
Okay.
And so I'm going to... There's 2 on Tesh, right?
There are 2 on Tesh. Well, there are 3 on Tesh, 1 on you, but one of the ones that are on Tesh is also in melee with you. So there's still 4 total.
Okay. I'm going to axe the closest. Well, actually, I'll provoke an attack from 2 of them to get closer to Tesh. So
Okay,
I'm
you only
within
provoke
5.
from one of them to get closer to Tesh.
Okay.
I should probably roll that. Your reckless attack doesn't carry over, right?
No, it's my start my new turn now.
Cool. 8 does not hit.
Cool. I will hand axe one on Tesh for 17
17 will hit.
for 7 points of slashing.
Cool. Which one were you targeting? So of the 3 that are around him, one of them is one of the ones that was trying to net you. One of them, Tesh has been stabbing a bunch and looks really bad. And the last one, Nazrat has been hammering.
I'll hit the I can only hit. I'll hit the one that's fresh on Tesh, the one that
Okay.
hasn't been hit by the.
Cool. So 7 damage on that guy.
Yeah, he's marked by Bunny Brigade.
Okay.
Or no, he's. I'm gonna use my unwavering mark on that one. So if they try to hit anyone but me, they get disadvantage. And now I'm gonna use my whip on. Fuck. Yes, I'm gonna use my whip on the one that.
The one that you already marked?
No, I'm gonna use it on a different one.
Okay.
I'm gonna use it on the one that's getting stomped out by Nazrat because it's further away.
Yep.
For a 25, and he
Hits.
takes 7 points of slashing,
Cool.
and he's marked by Bunny Brigade.
All right. So you got 2 simultaneous marks out.
Yeah, so basically if they don't attack me, they have disadvantage.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. A bee is lost in the darkness and stabbing wildly. However, eventually it flies out and does a patrol around its nest. You see some smaller bees crawling around in the cracked earth that you stepped on, but it does not pursue away from the nest. Tesh.
Just gonna keep stabbing this one I've been stabbing since the start of this.
You
As
are
Tesh got
stab-free.
hit, he also had the realization of I'm fine. That doesn't even get to my actual blood and bits. And oh right, the curse. Yeah, I'd probably. 13 doesn't hit.
No, it does not.
All right, second attack. Less than 13.
Okay.
That's it. Job's done.
Job's done.
Done.
Baz, you are hidden in the brush, and this bee is not pursuing you.
Excellent. I'm gonna drop concentration on that darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Would Racket be able to pick me up and put me down on the wall?
He'd have to find you. He reactioned to cast Shield of Faith on you while you were running through the
out.
field. Yeah.
Makes sense. But yeah, if I stood up where I am and flagged him down, would he be able to get me onto the wall?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to hold my action to attack whatever is attacking my friends with a longbow shot as soon as he puts me down on the wall.
Okay. He knows to you wave him down, and he knows to come and pick you up.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, pick me
Baz
up.
pops out of the bushes, his veins are sticking out with wasp poison. And he's all, get me up on that wall.
Hey, so when you ran away, you had dropped your rifle to pull up with
Yep,
your
no,
short
that
swords.
rifle's still there.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
okay.
using my longbow.
Okay, I was just making sure you were aware, but you obviously are.
I'm painfully aware of that.
Help. All right. 2 gargoyles are. One of them is marked by
Wally.
Wally. The other one is on the other side of Wally, so both of them are going to attack Wally. First one is a 23 and a 10.
23 hits.
For 6 piercing damage. Second one is a 7 and a 19.
19 hits.
For a measly 3 slashing damage. And then it will be back to Nazrat. You are already 20 feet away.
Glomp, 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 glomp. All right, and a 9 is plus 6 is 14. That misses, right?
That hits. That's
Oh,
that
alright.
matches actually. So
Alright.
the mechanic that I was talking about, you can deal half damage, or give it disadvantage on its next attack, or advantage on your next attack against it, which fully depends on whether you knock it down, I suppose.
Right.
Which you do.
Oh, excellent. All right.
So you could just do half, but it would be half damage of half damage. So you could give it disadvantage on its next attack.
I'll give it disadvantage on its next attack.
Cool.
And
Is this one.
the elk. Make sure I'm doing the right one here. So this will be
Advantage on the stomp.
it'll be 4d6 damage.
Well, did you roll the attack on the stomp yet?
No, I have not. So I will do that.
And you have advantage.
All right. Double eights. So that's plus the elk is +6. That's only a 14.
Damn. Unfortunate, but it is knocked prone. Do you want to use the rest of your movement to go back out? You would provoke from this one, but you don't have to, I guess, because it's next. If you provoke from this one, it would be at disadvantage.
Advantage to it. Yeah, I'll go back out.
Okay.
But I hit it with the ram, right? No?
Yeah.
Okay, so ram damage.
Well, since you gave it disadvantage on its next attack, it doesn't do damage.
Oh, nice. Okay, now I'm getting it. Okay,
Sorry.
that's so you have those options, or you can do your normal damage.
Yes.
Okay.
Or you could do half damage.
Okay.
Anyway, it missed on its opportunity attack against you.
Okay.
That's Nazareth. Racket is going to swoop. What did I say? 20 feet down to grab you. It only has 15 feet of movement to carry you. So you guys are just about to the wall on his turn, and actually he can dash to land you on the wall. Baz and sorry, your Quetzalcoatl.
I was just gonna say Rodan swings around and comes in for the.
So many players.
Yeah, that's the only thing with being a conjury druid. Yeah, I miss. I got a 3 + 4, 7. So swoosh. He's just too big. He's being outflown.
Yeah, I mean it's literally a dogfight between a gargoyle and a Quetzalcoatl.
Giant
The
thing.
gargoyle is dwarfed against this massive leathery beast. Racket lands Baz on the wall. Baz, you have your longbow ready action.
Okay, I am going to try and attack the one that looks the worst. I'm rolling at disadvantage because I'm in sunlight.
Okay, and it is going to be about what is that, like 140 feet away?
I've got 150 feet on my longbow. We're fine.
Okay, and low you do.
15 to hit.
15 will match, so you can deal half damage. But if you're doing it to the one that looks the worst, which is the one directly in front of Tesh, you're pretty sure you'll kill it because it only has 1 HP.
I see. Well, okay then. Half damage is going to be 2 longbow
Fantastic.
damage.
That is exactly that's enough. You guys have been getting swarmed by these things, slashing and biting and falling down and whatnot, when out of nowhere an arrow soars through the air, and this one that Tesh has been stabbing repeatedly, it hits it in the head, causing it to burst and crumple and fall to the ground.
What in Kyber?
What in tarnation?
Kyber's blessing.
This one is still out of the fight because it's afraid. These guys know that they are outnumbered now, so C and D are going to flee, getting opportunity attacks from Tesh, and, well, D is the one that was 10 feet away from Wally, so I don't think you can get an opportunity attack with a whip, can you?
A whip is... I think a whip is reach?
Yeah, it's reach
Yeah.
melee weapon, so can you
Reach
get an
10 feet.
opportunity attack with it?
Yeah.
Cool, then you get an opportunity attack against this one, both of you.
I got a 10.
Okay.
18.
18 hits, go ahead, roll your whip.
8 points slash damage.
All right. Oof. It is still up. And just so everyone's aware, the one that is leaving the melee right now is the one that had to stand up from being knocked prone and now has half movement of flying, so it only gets 30 feet away. The other one that's flying away was the one in dogfight with the Quetzalcoatl, and it's just fucking leaving. So it's already about 120 feet away from you guys. At the top of the round is Wally. There are still 2 there.
I'll focus on them. One gets a hand axe, one gets a whip.
Okay.
Hand axe for 22 for
Hits.
8 points of slashing.
Mm-hmm.
And the whip is a dirty 20 for 9 points of slashing.
Fantastic.
I
These
can
things
no
are attacks.
longer mark. Okay.
Okay, so no one is marked by you anymore?
The guy hit with the whip gets marked by the Bunny Brigade.
Bunny Brigade on Lip Boy. Cool. That bee is making a nest with a rifle in it now. Tesh. There is now 1 next to you, and 1 on the other side of Wally.
I'll attack the one that's next to me.
Okay.
17?
17 hits.
All right. That's a 6. Then second attack. A 22 to hit.
Yep.
For 8.
Okay. Baz, you are up on the wall. You've just loosed an arrow. What would you like to do?
Second verse, same as the first.
Okay.
I'm gonna loose another arrow at the next most injured looking gargoyle.
Cool. They look just as quickly cracked.
Alright, doesn't matter which one then.
Okay.
14 to hit.
14 does not hit.
Alright, there goes that arrow. I am up on a wall. I feel like there's not really many places to hide up here. Unless I run like...
There is vegetation up here. I mean, there's vegetation everywhere. You are at a sizable distance too.
This is true. I mean, like, the hiding would just make it so I don't roll at disadvantage anymore.
Yes, but if you don't have disadvantage, if you get to shoot again next round, you should have friends within 5, or you might have friends within 5 feet.
Having disadvantage negates sneak attack, even if you have friends within 5 feet.
Yeah, but if you don't have disadvantage on it.
Yeah. So, okay, I'll go ahead and hide.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, these guys are flying away.
Oh, that's good. I'm hiding.
You hide. A and B are trying to run away, and they want to use their full movement. So they're going to soak up opportunity attacks from both Wally and Tesh, since you've both had turns since your last opportunity attacks.
Let's try it.
Tesh, you can get 1 against only 1 of them. Wally, you have to choose between the 2.
A 10 doesn't hit either way.
Okay.
21 for minimum damage of 5.
5. Cool. These things are moving their full movement, which is 120 feet away. So as these things are flying off into the distance, one of them is lagging only slightly behind, but they are making a sizable gap very quickly. Is there anything that you guys want to do to try and go after them?
I am all out of javelins, my friend.
And your Quetzalcoatl can still harass them as they're flying away. But how far can it get from you?
That's just what I was looking up. And it doesn't seem to have a range once they're summoned. But it's verbal command. I mean, technically, we don't have enough rounds left of it summoned, so never mind. I was going to say, I'll just run and jump on its back and we'll go after them, but nope. That's
you could still have it harrying them until it
yeah.
it
Yeah, it
disappears.
chases them off because it
Yeah.
flies 80 feet around. So
Yeah. So essentially, this thing's just like dive bombing them continuously as they're trying to flutter away.
They're technically in range for me for 600 feet, and I've got disadvantage anyway.
Okay. You'll be able to 320, and then they move another 120 feet the round after that, so it'll be 420. So you get like 2 attacks against them.
All right, I'll give it a go.
In fact, you could even target the one that's lagging the most behind, since that is the one that looks the most damaged.
Since I'm hidden for the first one, this one will be just flat.
Okay.
21 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. And since I was hidden, I'll get the sneak attack. 6 slashing damage and 10 sneak attack damage.
Okay.
Is he still up?
He is still up.
All right. One more attack, this time at disadvantage. You're not getting away from me. 17 to hit.
It hits.
9 piercing damage.
Cool. This one that's lagging behind, you see Baz just on the far wall, like, you know, in movies where they're shooting like a huge distance and he just like raises his bow really high and just takes aim for a few seconds and looses, and this thing soars through the air for like a good 10-15 seconds before it slices through its back, causing it to crumble and just scatter the ruins below with debris. And that's that combat.
Nice.
And we'll go from there into our break.
Excellent. So first off, I would like to say thank you to Tyler for running this wonderful game. I am having a blast, and I think that we should all get inside. So we are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, pick yourself up something nice, and we'll see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest Indoor Adventure in to Annihilation. We just got done fucking up some like 2 gargoyles, and then they flew away. But there were some bees there, and Baz almost died to those, but now we're safe.
I have 1 hit point.
Speaking of bees there, and you being on 1 hit point,
Oh god.
Racket is going to slap you with a Cure Wounds as well.
I bruise like a
and
banana.
say, stop getting yourself hurt. I didn't know where you were.
Dummy.
7 hit
Baka.
points. Actually, no. It's 11 hit points.
Kind of distracted, Baz says, shoot, I left my rifle behind.
I could go get it if you want.
You are nowhere near him.
100 feet away.
Oh. 100. I could go get it if you want!
Baz, like, moves to go get his rifle back. How many hit points did you give him back?
11. But
11.
Racket's going to grab your shoulder and be like, I'll grab it. You're hurt.
No, you don't want to do that. Those things are nasty.
I can fly.
Yeah, but I can run 50 feet around. Or 90 feet around.
It's not a competition.
He moves to like head back towards his rifle and just kind of like winces and holds his side for a second. And he says, I'll watch your 6. Be careful.
He'll nod. And he's just going to swoop down and try to snatch it from that. He can fly 50 feet in 1 round and dash to get back, so he will get an opportunity attack from the old giant wasp, but it rolls poorly. It was like patrolling around this nest as the smaller wasps are kind of crawling over everything. He swoops in. This thing tries to stab down at him, but he grabs the rifle with his little feetsy talons, you know, and shakes off the other wasps as he flies back. There's still a few small bees. He probably gets stung once or twice.
Can we say, because I just looked it up, it's up to an hour I can have that Quetzalcoatl. So can we
Okay.
say like the wasp like turns and goes to get him, and then just there's this
Just like
this is like swoop. Yeah, we just see the wasp like dun 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 dun, and then there's just it's just eaten and whoosh away.
It's just having a good time. This giant Quetzalcoatl.
It's
Does it go
fine.
back into its holding pattern
Yeah,
above? Just
yeah. Just
Amazing.
keep it for an hour.
Racket hands you back your like swoops down and like sticks out his little feetsy claws and hands you back your rifle.
He takes it.
It's like you shouldn't drop this.
He's examining it for any sort of any damage.
There's still some bees crawling out of the muzzle.
Yeah.
Out of the barrel.
Swat, flick.
We should get back with everyone else.
You're right. He'll reach out to grab his talon. You know, so that he can fly him over.
He like grabs you underneath the armpits and flies over.
Like a cat.
And lo, Racket and Baz land amongst you. This entire time you haven't heard a peep out of Orvex, and you see he's still where you guys left him, like in a small tent, just passed out.
Must be nice.
I would say we should find some place with a steady roof.
Maybe something not in the area, just in case they come back looking for us.
There's a wasp nest about 100 feet that way.
Oh!
You've probably got like a
Tar.
big stinger or so, like a swollen part in your abdomen where you.
I mean, there's at least 2 stings, which are like from a 4-foot wasp.
You've got brand new holes.
Golly, Mr. Eugene, you look worse than Buster did when he fell on top of those porcupines.
It's Eustace.
Buster's my dog. Eustace, sorry.
Can we take a rest?
Not here.
Help me move this Orvex.
Gently, 2-arm scoops.
In your patrols, Baz, on the other side of the thoroughfare, there are some kind of intact buildings that you might be able to scooch inside of.
Okay. Yeah, I'll lead them there. On the way over, I'll tell them about the frog temple that I saw.
As you guys get into this building, though, however, I will need you to roll a D100. Whoever is feeling lucky.
Make RJ do it. He's got
RJ.
more nat 20s than anyone tonight.
Cool.
As a side note, can a giant elk fit in this building?
How you're huge?
When you're
Also-
a druid, I'm pretty sure you don't change your size category when you transform.
No, you do.
You do.
Yeah.
You
Do?
You become the creep.
Why would you
physically,
become
the
a
creature.
small-sized Tyrannosaurus Rex? That defeats the whole purpose. Just be a Velociraptor.
I got a 77. That might be good.
That might be good. That is good.
Got a big head and little arms.
Oh yeah, they're huge. They're a huge beast. So,
I might have been thinking of 4th edition.
As you guys are headed over to this building, and Baz is explaining the frog temple, and Nazrat is clip-clopping as a giant elk across this giant thoroughfare, you hear a roar off in the distance, and Baz, kind of in that same area that you saw before, through the mist and foliage, you see just this big looming creature weaving through some streets well off in the distance, at least 400, 500, actually like half a mile, sorry. And as it roars, you think you can see it through this mist, like a bank of mist rolls by, and it's not there anymore.
Yeah, no, just
Nope.
Sunglasses popped up, eyes like wide.
Let's not go tangoing with that.
You guys cross the thoroughfare into this building it's kind of a larger building, probably was actually a stable at some point. The front door that you guys start to go through is too small for a giant elk, so you have to like maneuver to the other side and like still have to duck down and kind of shimmy into this barn door. And as you guys go through your small door, RJ, roll me a d6.
Great. 5.
You kind of bump this desk, and it's kind of like carved out of stone and marble, and has like a rudimentary sliding like actually let's say it's hinged. You bump it and it hinges open, and there is a collection of 5 jade rings in there.
Huh.
Each worth 25 gold pieces. They are of different woodland creatures are like engraved around them. Let's say you can recognize them from the story as being 5 of probably a set of 9 for the trickster gods.
He'll swipe them.
And you just whole Orvex over here. And as you guys just make sure this area is safe, Summer-wise will finally like, he had been like kind of darting to and fro until he felt a lot safer, and he'll land next to you and transmit to you the information that at the far end of this thoroughfare, off to the right, there's like a cave with an obelisk in front of it. And that's where he last saw Azaka and RinRin.
As in,
You're muted, my friend.
He'll relay the information and just like feed like stress snacks for the pseudo dragon. He had a big day today.
He had a big day, and he does not want to tangle with those gargoyles. They had been like sitting on the cliffside above this. Actually, they are lining pretty much all the cliffside. But the ones above where Azaka and RinRin were caught sight of him and chased him down.
Well,
were they okay?
They looked ambulatory, meaning they were walking around.
Azaka and Rin,
But
not Hassan?
Didn't see Hassan there.
He'll shake his head.
well, while you guys get a base camp established, I'm going to go back out there and cover our tracks.
Watch out for wasps.
Be careful, Wally.
We'll let us
Doing
head.
so stealthily.
Yes.
Cool. Roll me stealth, my friend.
I will give.
Nine.
No, I don't have guidance on this character. Whoopsie.
It's fine. 24, and then survival to cover up the tracks.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Got a +4. 16.
Oh yeah. The tracks are through this really thick vegetation, and even on the thoroughfare, like nothing really stands out, but you can easily cover what you think stood out as your guys' tracks in a stealthy manner. What would you guys like to do?
Take a short rest, if anything, because Baz has been stabbed by bees.
Yeah, Racket starts giving you some medical attention during the short rest.
Take off his shirt and like start smearing creams on all the.
Yeah, like an absorbing cream that kind of like draws the poison out of your system.
Yep.
After an hour, the Quetzalcoatl just fizzles away, and pretty much the same time, the elk that was just kind of sitting, the elk just sort of comes back, and it's Nazrat's there. And he's like, just goes and maybe starts munching some snack.
Yeah, I think Tesh would continue looking around the barn, and then once they had looked enough, just kind of post himself up next to the door frame.
Okay.
Do the cool guy lean, and like just be looking outside towards the area where Azaka and RinRin are. And the only thing that he is actively thinking is he is definitely not thinking that Hassan has betrayed him like another friend of the Yuan-Ti did on his first excursion into the jungle. No, why would that be a thing Tesh would think about?
Definitely not thinking about that. That'd be weird.
It's crazy, right? Absolutely insane.
The lipstick in my white Valentino purse.
My Valentino white bag.
Wah, 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 wah. Okay, so
You rang?
you rang. Baz is going to amble up to Nazrat. Is he still in his elk form?
No, well, if I was for like whatever the remainder of
For
an
a
hour
while.
was.
And then he
Yeah.
unelked.
Yep.
Yeah, about the time that he unelks, a half-naked drow covered in cream comes over with a begemmed longbow, and he says, well, our resident spellcaster isn't really around anymore. You wouldn't happen to know how to check what this is, would you?
He literally kind of starts thinking about it, and I'm gonna get back to you about it because there might be something I can pull off, and I wanna check.
Okay. If that's the case, then we can rewind just a little bit, and Baz can have a scene with Racket.
Okay.
Whilst they're applying anti-poison cream. Baz will get kind of pensive, looking off into the distance, and he says, "Why are you here, Racket?"
He's got like cream all over his hands. So he has to like wipe it off on you.
Yeah. Well, that's where it belongs anyway.
Yeah. Because I want to. I'm tired of being cooped up. This is exciting, isn't it? I mean, as long as you don't go running off by yourself.
He rubs the back of his head kind of sheepishly. And he says, "Yeah, but you were supposed to just get us here and then head straight home."
Well, maybe the journey took longer than expected.
You are planning on going home, aren't you?
Well, yeah, eventually.
He looks like he's gonna say something, and then he just kind of looks away. And he says, "Racket, I can't protect you."
Well, so far I have to protect you.
Can't argue against that. It's the way it's always been.
What do you mean?
Hell, I've always had to be protected by other people.
Well, I know how that feels.
He's gonna get out his spooky, like, flickety flick short sword type knife thing. And he says, when young drow boys come of age, they get sent off into the Underdark with nothing but a knife. It's their birthright. And if they come back alive, then they're considered a man. I have a twin. And when they sent us off into the Underdark, they only gave us one knife. One birthright. Anyway.
Is your twin alive?
Yeah, no, he's still alive. It's just, when they threw that knife between us, I grabbed it without a second thought, and I just left him there. And later on, he came riding in on the back of a giant spider that he'd tamed, and he saved me.
Oh, well, that just means that it's nice to have someone watching your back. And I like watching your back.
He like just he takes a hand and he like puts it over Racket's talons and just shakes his head and he says, "I'm gonna disappoint you."
I don't think so.
And he just gives him kind of a world weary smile. And like for a moment they are like a bit too close. And like the tension is there. And then he just kind of leans back and just kind of oh look, yeah, Nazrat de-elked. I'm gonna go and hold on. Oh, what? And then he like knocks over his longbows and all his shit flies everywhere. And he goes, picks up the longbow and like.
Racket was like standing in that, like you guys were getting closer and closer, and then you back off, and he's like just stuck standing there. Just,
I've been there too, buddy. Don't worry.
He starts cleaning up the medical supplies.
You're next.
Wally, what are you up to?
Probably come back to the compound. Well, covered up the tracks as best I could. You all right, Mr. Racket? You're a bit flush.
I'm fine. Let's
He would just sign it towards Wally, but he can't, like...
Yeah, no, he's like...
Just 2 thumbs up.
I'm fine.
Right.
How do you guys want to... first of all, Nazrat.
Yeah. So when Baz comes over and starts asking about the bow, Nazrat will say that upon the dawn... Oh, wait. In your head, he'll say, upon the dawn, I can use this magic to figure out what magic lies within. And or I could dispel the magic. But
No.
that's as far as I can do. My knowledge of this is minimal.
DM, would he be able to determine if it was cursed or not?
With detect magic and dispel magic. That's the only ones I got, really.
Detect magic. Can detect magic find if something's cursed?
It can tell what magic schools things are.
You need identify for a curse. Or there's a really easy way to find out what this thing does.
Just attune to it.
Just hang out for an hour. Get to know it better.
It's fine. It's fine.
And you guys have determined that restoration, the only way to get rid of the curse is remove curse.
Curse.
Okay. So dispel magic would not work on a curse either.
Come on,
No.
the DM wouldn't do back-to-back cursed
He
items.
wouldn't curse 2
You
items.
wouldn't do that. That's insane.
No, he wouldn't. Look
Who
at
would
his
do
smile.
Hey, this
The
isn't
DM
this
wouldn't
isn't
have
the,
me walk into a wasp nest.
hey, this isn't the tomb of Happy Good Candyland. This is the tomb of Annihilation.
We should make that supplement and post it on DM's Guild.
The Tomb of Happy Candyland.
Candyland.
We're going to Candy Mountain, Charlie.
Yep.
Candy Mountain!
So hearing this, like he's like offers to dispel the magic from it as well. And he's all like, no. Okay. He's gonna look down at it, and he's going to like put a hand over one of the stings on his body and just kind of like wince. And internally he decides that this is You know what? Let's just do this narratively. Hand over the sting, a wince, and then he just kind of looks down at the bow, considering, and then he looks up at Tesh, who is like gazing pensively out over into the jungle, and then his eyes narrow, his eyebrows come down, and he grips the bow decisively. He's gonna go and attune to the bow.
And as you look down at the bow, like a flash in the gems that are carved into the eyes of the serpent that is carved into, and you go and attune to it. And it's not cursed. It is a longbow of warning.
Yay!
So you can go ahead and add a longbow of warning into your inventory.
But let it be known that he was totally okay with being cursed.
He's willing to risk it.
Risk it for the biscuit, baby.
Be just like his dad, Tesh.
What?
Orvix takes his long rest, even though you guys moved him. And when he awakes, he reduces down to only 2 levels of exhaustion, but he's back at full health. What would you guys like to do? It's when he awakens, it's evening.
Orvex, you said that you know how to read Oman?
Yes, I can read. Oh, you mean Omuan or Orman?
Oman.
Well, my experience with Oman is much less. Well, I'm much less experienced with it. If given time, I might be able to translate it.
Yes. On one condition. You cannot remove the parchment with which it is written on.
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
And Tesh will, hand over the hilt of the rapier.
He'll examine the rapier. There is no writing on the handle itself, but engraved into the blade is this Olmanian script. And he's like, well, you can hold on to the sword, son. I'll just do a rubbing. And he will get a rubbing of the words and go about looking through his journal. Although it will probably take him some time to translate it.
That's all right. I can't read it, so it's better than nothing. And then, if this dude just spent the last several hours, Tesh will call his newfound party together. If we're going to be here, I don't believe it's safe to go out and travel overnight. We probably want to set up some sort of watch system.
I could take first if you wish.
Baz, after attuning to that weapon of warning, you feel acutely aware of every little creature, as small as a mouse, as big as a Quetzalcoatl, moving around in a 30-foot area.
That's amazing. I think that this starts off as massive paranoia. Just what was that? Did you hear that?
Summerwise tooted.
Nazrat gives you a little squinted eyes because he has the exact same thing because he's got alertness. So he's he's like giant centipede or
Giant centipede.
You can hear them too.
basically.
D&D, Jesus, are they all giant? Are all the insects out here giant?
Most of them. Yep.
So, Wally, if you want to take a watch, previously myself and Baz need significantly less rest than others, but if you are willing to do this, it would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, it's no problem, Mr. Teshvael.
Tesh is fine.
It's no problem, Mr. Tesh.
I think that's like the third time that exact interaction has happened.
One of these days.
Hold on. This is vengeance for fucking Hassan and now Daza.
Oh, how
Is
the
it?
turns have tabled.
How the turns.
I mean, I didn't think about it this way. Wally's mama taught him to be respectful, so...
And Tesh doesn't really mind, but it's more of a just like, no, you are all more comfortable if you call me by a person's name. Yeah,
a normal
Tesh will take this opportunity to get a little bit of rest.
Cool. Do all of you want to take an opportunity to get a little bit of rest?
Yeah, I'll take first watch, though.
Okay.
Yeah, Tesh will take second.
Are we doing 4, 2? How many watches? And how many people on each watch?
If Wally
Wally
and
still needs his 6 seconds.
Nazareth want to do first watch, then Baz and Tesh can take second.
Yeah.
Cool.
We've tried to do the math of it before, but with elves being able to transfer 4 hours, you can split it up evenly between them. But for people who have to sleep, they have to split it up into like 3. So regardless, you have enough people to sit watch that you can split it up just fine. And you guys will go ahead and rest for the night. The entire time, Orvex, who had gotten a lot of sleep, is looking through his notes and digging through his satchel, looking for other books references to come up with. And you guys are able to take your long rest uninterrupted. And we are going into the morning of the next day.
Tesh would have or you would try and have an aside with Baz. Whether or not Baz is receptive is a completely different matter. But
They've been through some shit. I think that he's willing enough to at least talk to Tesh. Baz has now graduated to wearing his shirt unbuttoned throughout the night.
nice. It's hot out.
It is hot out, and he's supposed to keep ventilation on the screen. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. And Tesh is just wearing like his white linen shirt, but it's a little bit lighter now just because of how hot it is. His suspenders.
Sunglasses off because it's dark.
Honestly, they're both much more comfortable in this setting.
Yep.
And Tesh says, I don't like the fact that Hassan wasn't with RinRin and Azaka.
What are you thinking of?
Did I tell you what happened before you found me? At the temple to Nabaza.
In as many words.
I was betrayed by Yuan Ti. And I've tried to put that aside for Hassan. He was a might right fellow. Rather good with a scalpel. However, his disappearance does me a concern. And I don't want... We both know Hassan. There's no way he died from a fall. We didn't die. He would have just turned into an elephant or something.
There are plenty other dangers out here, and you and me both know that RinRin would never have left him behind.
If he's gone, I think he'd left. There's not enough time to bury him, and RinRin wouldn't just leave a body.
He's pensive about this. All right. Take that into consideration. What does that mean for us?
I don't know. I still say that we find Azaka and find RinRin. RinRin is a dear friend to us both, and Azaka has proved nothing but helpful.
All right.
But if it is
Well,
just us four... He looks over towards Wally and Nazrat's sleeping forms.
As you do, Wally's leg twitches in his sleep.
Oh, baby. All right.
But
I get the feeling. Go on.
Azaka's loyalty comes to a certain point. We need to find those that will go the rest of the distance with us.
As you say that, Baz kind of winces and glances over at Racket. And then he looks down at the ground. Our next move should be to go and find RinRin and Azaka then. We're going to be stronger together.
And maybe we can hear about what happened to San from one of them.
Baz nods. He's going to point at his bow, which is over his shoulder. And he's like, good news. It's not cursed.
Well, that's a plus. I feel like it would have been a really bad stretch of luck if something nice that you found was also cursed.
Yeah. And in other news, he points out a creature that's within 100 feet of him. 30 feet of him. There's a mongoose about 20 feet away. Like these little beady eyes peering from the bushes.
Is that what you can do when you don't have to wear your sunglasses? Why have we been going out during the day?
That's what I've been trying to tell you. But the reason I know it's there is because of this thing. It's the reason why that guy could tell where I was before I shot at him. That snake person.
I see. That seems like it will be very valuable.
Yeah, it's going to be really useful going forward. Especially in my line of work.
It's very true.
How are you feeling about... He just gestures to the sword.
I have personally no qualms about it. It is a means to an end, and the more that I use it, the more I become more familiar with it. I know now that if I start to lose myself, as I have previously, if there is no one near me for me to aggress upon, it would simply... the possession would leave me.
Well, I know I can outrun you.
Yes. I believe most of you can, especially Wally. He is very quick. RinRin can jump up trees, and he looks over at Nazrat. I don't know. He would probably, like, turn into a giant bird and just fly away or something.
You hope his option is to fly away.
It's either that or eat me, and honestly, if he ate me, I would be just impressed that he could do that. He's a wonder to watch on the battlefield.
Yeah. They're all pretty amazing.
And that's why we've made it this far. And the other thing that I am rightly curious of, Artis and Dragonbait said that they were going to make their way here, and that they would meet us.
It's true.
How will they
pair of
find
wings,
us?
though.
At what point would they meet us? We left them days before we began our flight, and we don't know what Artis is capable of.
Well, judging from how things have been for the past few weeks, they're going to come across us at the worst possible moment.
That's very true. This whole city has me feeling a bit on edge.
What's the matter? You don't like snakes?
Oh, I love snakes. The only difference is that with a small snake, I know what it's going to do, but in a city full of them, we are the outsiders. This is their home. And while we are all Kyber's children, if somebody doesn't want you in their house, there are many ways that they can go about removing you.
That's why you don't let them know that you're there.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I make a rather jingly sound when I walk places.
Yeah, you got all the tricks up your sleeve.
This is true. But those are tricks that I like to be able to use on friends. I can take a hit, and I'm also rather good at avoiding it, so if I can make it more difficult for... Looks over towards Racket. Squishier ones to not be aggressed upon, I would rather do that.
Baz gives a toothy smile, which flashes really white in the darkness. And he says, and that's why I'm always watching your back.
And I thought that was because you were going to put a knife in it at some point.
If needs be, friend. If needs be.
Let's just remember, non-lethal is always an option.
Oh, I'm sorry. My job is assassin. And non-lethal means that you're bad at your job.
Honestly, that's fair.
Basil get up and kind of swat him on the shoulder as he heads back into camp as their watch ends.
It's the dawn of a new day. The sun is shining, the tank is clean.
The tank is clean!
The tank is clean. What would you guys like to do?
Go and look for our friends.
As morning breaks, actually, Orvex will approach you, Tesh, and he'll say, I have good news and I have bad news.
All right. I have ears to listen.
The bad news is I don't have the resources to translate your words quite yet. The good news is in some of my reading, it talks about the Queen's decree. Apparently a Rosetta Stone, if you will, said to be somewhere in the city.
I'm going to guess that it exists in the caverns or whatever beneath the city with all of the other important things that we've been
Actually,
sent to
no.
find.
It's supposed to be readily available.
No, fuck me. That sounds amazing.
The text isn't quite specific, but could be somewhere possibly by a large manor or something.
Right.
If I could get the Queen's decree, I could translate this no problem.
I'll see what we can come across.
Excellent.
Do you feel like this would be a safe place for you?
Alone? You're mad.
Well, it's not the first time I've been called that, but I see your point.
I'm feeling better, but I'm afraid to say that I'll still be a slight hindrance to you. But
We cannot stay here for 3 days while you recover.
of course, and I wouldn't expect as much. I'll do my best to follow along. Just know I'm still be a little slow. Got the damn limp in my leg is back.
If Wally overhears, he just raises a hand. I could carry a piggyback if you want. It's a little demeaning, but
I've been carried before.
Nazrat.
And when you guys wake Nazrat, they're like this was a stable, right?
Yeah.
So like one of the stable partitions, Nazrat was up in the like rafters, and he was just like sleeping like a leopard, like his limbs all slung over and his little head turned sideways. And then when you guys all start waking up and moving around, he wakes up and he just kind of pops up onto the thing like a surfer, just popping up on the board, and then just runs the rafter and swings his way down. And then
We're gonna be looking for your friends?
I believe that would be our best course of action.
Well, if we find him, I can fly him back. Or at least an hour closer.
Oh, they're within the city. Nazrat. So if anything, we'll find them all together. But if we do need somebody flown away, looks over at the old man.
Reading his book, just like jotting it down in his journal. Like, today I met some really nice people.
I woke up in a place I didn't fall asleep in.
I don't know why I'm here, but I'm along for the ride.
He's got a pipe in his mouth, and he's just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
And then just looks back over towards Nazrat. Then I'm sure it would be greatly appreciated.
Whatever I can do to help.
So you guys can move north along the thoroughfare, or at least in the vegetation near the thoroughfare if you want to stay undercover. It will be slow moving, but by maybe the end of the day, you can make it to near where Summerwise said he last saw Azaka and RinRin. And depending on where they're going, you could possibly find them there. Is that something you guys want to do?
Yeah.
Cool.
if we go to where they were, we might be able to track them from there.
Exactly. You guys start heading north. Do you guys want to move stealthily or
pass without trace?
Real quick, I needed to ask the party this for spell selection. So Skywrite out, right? We did not want that option. Okay, so I will grab an actual healing spell.
Yay! We might need that.
All right, roll me your passes without traces. You're going to be, I guess, if Wally's carrying Orvex, you're not necessarily half speed, but
yeah, it keeps up for an hour.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be a 28 then.
pass.
It's gonna be a dirty 30.
Dirty 30.
With the pass without a trace.
Gosh.
I'm at disadvantage, so a 17.
Fantastic.
Oof.
Rolled a 5, and then had some help from my Mark of Shadow.
Is it another blue sunny day?
No, it's actually pretty cloudy and rainy today.
Nice.
No direct sunlight.
I think that Baz keeps his sunglasses off for now.
From the hill that we were on, did we spot the sunken part of the city?
Yeah. When you guys first arrived in town, you were able to spy that.
Well, let's hope they didn't head towards the sunken part of the city. That'll make it like 50 times harder to track them.
Yeah. Let's hope. Cool. Sorry, Nazrat, did you have a stealth?
Oh yeah, dirty 21.
Ooh. And Orvex is a 16 or something. Actually, it's like an 18. All right, you guys start moving north along the side of the thoroughfare. Again, you are passing through ruins overgrown with vegetation, and the first hour passes kind of uneventfully. Before that time is up, you come across looks like an old abandoned campsite.
How old? Like a day old or like very old?
Not older than a day, less older than possibly a month or two.
Okay.
Not like ancient old.
Old with
The
a U.
abandoned campsite. There's torn backpacks and rotting gear littered around the ground, around these three moldering tents. At the center of the camp, a scrap of dirty yellow cloth hangs from a crude wooden flagpole.
Okay.
Any idea? Yeah,
Hmm?
ask Orvix. Any idea what that means?
He eyes the scrap of yellow paper, and shrugs. It looks like maybe a noble banner of someone. I can't make out who it could be.
Teshvael. He'll ask Baz to investigate.
Okay. Baz will give it a look-see.
Yeah, like
Cool.
stay within 30 feet, but like
Yeah.
you go. I'll die.
As you make your way over to this little abandoned campsite, it looks like it's probably been picked clean a while ago, but amongst the tent remains, you actually find a scrap of paper. It looks like a note that was pinned to the inside of this tent. And the note says, Rue, Denlin has a lead on the Eye of Zoltik. The old goat found an obelisk to the north that marks the entrance to the tomb of the 9 gods. The eye must be within, but the door is magically locked. We think the secret to opening it lies in the holy shrines. We're headed into the shrines to check them out. God willing, we'll be back tonight. Rosnesi's serpent people are on the prowl, so be careful. If you get into trouble, sound the war horn twice, and we'll come running. For the yellow banner, Lord Brixton.
And does this look like fairly old?
It looks like it's been weathered by the elements. Go ahead and make a survival check.
Okay. Natural 20.
Okay. It
For
looks
a roll of 26.
It looks roll 2d8.
Mm-hmm. 8.
It looks exactly 13 days old. Just because of the weather here, it molds and weathers very quickly.
Right. I imagine he runs his gloved finger through some mold on some equipment, and he looks at it, gives it a little sniff, looks around. Is there anything of value in this camp?
No, it looks like it has been picked clean.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just double check. Nope, nothing of value.
All right, I'll come back with the note and hand it to Tesh and say, yeah, looks like they're not going to come running for the yellow banners anytime soon.
You are the bearer of news. Most excellent, Baz. You have done fine work this day.
Wally leans over to Racket. Is he normally this creepy?
You don't know sign language, and he can't hear you.
Oh, right.
He can read lips.
Okay, I mean, yeah. But it takes some processing time. and he'll sign something at you. Baz, you see him signing. Well, he's creepy, but I can't tell his tone of voice. How creepy is he being?
What's the word for very?
Boy.
Mass creepy.
That's not what. Oh.
Many.
We'll get back to you, but yes, very. He'll be like wide-eyed, like, oh, that's concerning.
You think? There is a silent exchange between Racket and Baz.
Cool.
And so you guys are looking at each other and doing things with your hands?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. At some point, Nazrat just will talk in your heads like, "Can you talk like my people?"
Well, not necessarily. You talking, the brain meats, but we're just doing stuff with our hands that means things.
Interesting. Language with sight. And he does the same, basically says the same kind of thing to Racket too, who can talk back.
Right.
In
It's
my
like,
head.
oh, yeah, no, it's a type of language that uses signs. The signs mean different things if you put them in a certain. He like starts just unloading information on you because he finds it very interesting that he can just start talking a lot.
And Nazrat is down for it because he's like, boy, that would be great to teach the animals.
It's like, oh yeah, like he's definitely seen people train an animal to talk the sign language.
Animals respond very well to signs, actually.
Why, thank you, my friend. This is most interesting.
Does
Anyway,
Nazrat know how to read?
I'm gonna say no unless Bigglesworth would have taught.
These are your letters, sir.
And technically he can. he could speak multiple languages of his masters. So I mean there's a possibility that I would speak, or I would read Common, Sylvan, Halfling, and Druidic.
He's quite well read.
Nice.
Anyway, Tesh is creepy.
Yeah, he is. Is he doing that on purpose? I don't know what voice that is.
Tesh was told, without anybody else there, that the thing that he is looking for most is the Eye of Zoltek. You just handed him a note, like, he read, like, we have located the Eye of Zoltek, and he's like, oh, I struck fucking gold. Like, those dudes are dead, but I'm alive. Fuck them. Like... So that's why, like, as soon as he read that, just, you have done so well. Like, you told me exactly where I need to go.
You guys, I assume, continue on your journey up this thoroughfare. Your Pass Without a Trace will wear off over time. So you'll find yourselves just making a little bit more racket as you make your... chop your way through the jungle, the foliage. At some point, you there's a lot of ruins here, some more intact than others, and Baz, you'll spy a ruin that has the same kind of motifs as the frog ruin, and as the earlier last session, you saw another ruin that had kind of the same motif, and this motif being has a wall around it, it has obelisks out front, and those are the two main things. And at least from the distance, you can spy some writing carved into the passages at the entrances, although you can't read it. And this is another one that looks very, how you say, interesting.
All right.
And I'll go ahead and on our map mark the ones that are interesting, so you know where you would need to go back to.
Okay. Is there any identifying markings as to which temple this is?
Let's see. Make a perception check. It is not sunny.
Hi. My name is Baz, and I have a great perception. 17.
Okay, yeah, cool. From the distance, you can see over the door, past the obelisk at the door of the building itself, carved over it, around it, is a horned rabbit charging a small feral-looking bear.
Huh.
And there's some cuneiform script above the door.
It's like one horn, though, not like antlers, like a jackalope.
A single horned rabbit.
Neato.
Huh.
Yeah. Basil pointed out to Wally as kind of a novelty.
And Wally's holding Orvex, is like carrying Orvex with him.
Mm-hmm.
It's just he's on just latched onto your back, and if you point that out, you're like, oh, that must be the shrine to Isian. And he'll
Beware. Every time I've come across one of those, it's connected to a tree stump with tentacles.
Oh, I've heard of these. They're like wolf in sheep clothing type shit. I'm sorry, I shouldn't cuss. Spit.
This entire time, also, Orvex is keeping kind of a detailed map of the parts of the city that you are exploring.
Nice. Very good.
About midday, as you guys have been continuing through the jungle, you spy a rather large building off to the west. One might even describe it as a manor or an estate or something of royal significance. And Orvex will tap Wally and be like, "There, son. That might be where we can find the Queen's decree."
Well, all right, we can check that out later once we regroup with our friends.
Keeping very diligent note. Diligent? Is that a word?
Yeah.
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 And you continue. You get to a crossroads of sort. It's kind of late afternoon. Off to the west is this enormous amphitheater in layered stairs looking at a small stage. And Baz, being the most passively perceptive of the group, you see a trail of big footprints, like at least 10 feet, clawed footprints in the mud in this near this amphitheater.
I see.
And you would expect to see them go into the jungle, but you see them go a distance and then just stop.
They don't continue?
They do not continue.
They're just like, there's clearly like further that they should go, but they do not.
Yep.
Are they like right next to each other, like they came to a stop, or like do they continue?
Like steps going in stride and they just stop.
Is this in the same direction where we saw the giant shape?
Make a history check.
I'll do that as well.
Hey, 21.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's not go that way.
Yeah, no, I was just about to say the same thing.
Pardon then.
And so we go this way.
And so this way you do go. You take a right at this crossroads. Summerwise, keeping a mental depiction of what he saw while he was flying. And he knows that if you take a right at this crossroad and the left of the next thoroughfare, that's about the area where he saw Azaka and RinRin. And after you take a right at this crossroad, you pass another building of a similar motif of a shrine that you have seen. And you guys kind of pass right in front of this one. And there are all around this, like on the monolisks, are these carvings of monkeys hanging by their tails. And on the front, if you look through the courtyard, there are actually 5 entrances, and above the center one, you see just more carvings of a monkey hanging by its tail, and more cuneiform script. And Orbex will note, this must be Wongo's shrine. And he gives you the quick, like he did on Ijin's back shrine, gives you like the history where Ijin is the enemy of Oboloka. Oboloka is a Zorbo. Ijin is an Almiraj, and they don't like each other. And here Wongo and the Jaculi, who is Moa. I like what you did to the map there, but he marks that down on your guys' map. And you continue on your way. And as you get to this next thoroughfare, it looks like this was a kind of more populated part of town, probably a bazaar area. And there is like this like collection of rocks, maybe some carts that had been piled here. And Baz, you get a notification as you guys are approaching this. Boop, boop. And boop, boop. As you guys get here, out of nowhere, a small red-skinned frog creature jumps up onto this the stack of rocks, and simultaneously, you hear him say with his mouth, just a lot of gibberish. But in all of your heads, you hear, "Stay, friends! It is me, Kret!" And he points at Nazrat. "Nazrat, your people need you!"
And Nazrat already had his boomerang out because he has the alert feet,
and you actually recognize Kret. He is a grung that you have worked with in the past. Okay. He's a friend of the jungle as well. And he informs you, "Drungalung is under attack by the fire newts. I know you don't like the grung people, but they need your help, sir."
How could I possibly resist? I am Nazrat, friend of the jungle. And then he turns.
"I'm sorry, my friends, but you must continue on from here without me. I hope to see you again someday."
Wally will
think of you always.
Baz is still pointing his longbow at the grung, trying to like catch up with what just happened.
Wally let down the scholar, take a knee next to Nazrat, and give him a hug.
No.
Thank you, Mr. Nazrat. Without you, I think I'd have died in that jungle a long time ago.
"Well, I protect all who come here. With that, I must go."
And he runs and bounds up and vaults over next to the grung, and
you both stand heroically.
Yep.
"Thank you, adventurous friends. Your service will not be forgotten, keeping my friend Nazrat safe." And this is all in your head. Verbally, it's a lot of it's in grung. This is little squeaky voice.
Burbles.
It's just Animal Crossing speak.
And I never got to do this, so I was going to ask you originally, Tyler, but I took Thorn Whip, not to use like Thorn Whip, but to be able to go whoosh and have a vine and swing away.
Oh my god, you're like the Spider-Man of the jungle.
Exactly. And
Hell yeah.
Swing on, you glorious bastard.
Swing on and away.
He's swinging away, and Baz is just like, he could do that the whole time?
He was the best of us.
And as Nazrat, friend of the jungle, swings off to save another land, we are ending our session for tonight.
Thank you for running this game! Fuck the rest of this party. Let's just follow Nazrat. Like, let's just watch that game.
The Indoor Adventure presents Nazareth, Friend of the Jungle.
If you ever want to do a one-shot and you play a game, Tyler, I will run a Nazrat Friend of the Jungle. The next time somebody can't make it, we'll do that.
And you're all like grunts.
Yeah, it's just like random, like somebody's playing a sentient ape who learned sign language to talk to you after you taught them from what Racket informed you.
Oh my god.
It'd be perfect.
And a grung and a lizard folk and a
Tyler, the backup characters.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I smell a spinoff.
I smell the one shot.
Let's do it.
Yes, I am so excited. And speaking of things that are also exciting, hey Tyler, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hi, my name's Tyler, also known as @FrothyInferno on Twitter. You can find me here running Tomb of Annihilation on Sundays or otherwise as encrypted in the background of DanaeKeener.com's stream. DanaeKeener.com.
And RJ.
Hey everybody, I'm RJ here on the channel. You can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things of my life and sometimes stream Hitman 2 and I'm not a psychopath, I swear. You can catch me here on Sundays as Wally, the shifter barbarian fighter. And tomorrow in our homebrew campaign, you can catch me as Calum, the Shatterkai wizard cleric. This week is my busy week, so on Tuesday and Thursdays at 10 p.m. EST, catch me over at the Hype Goblins channel, where I play a very sad noble boy named... Huh?
AM.
AM.
Okay, you said 10 p.m. EST, and I was like, they
play
sorry. That late?
No, my brain is tired. I had coffee. I'll talk about it later in nights. Catch me over at the Hype Goblins channel at that time, where I play a sad boy named Titus Valentine. And over at G Game Nights on Thursday night at 8 o'clock EST PM, correct. You can catch me as another noble boy who's a sweetheart, by the name of Theophilus Wilmont, who just wants to marry his longtime girlfriend. DanaeKeener.com.
And GB, where can we find you? What do you do?
Graybeard of Graybeard's Tavern, and you can check my Twitter for my schedule. But I will say that this Wednesday I have coming up a one-shot that I'm playing over on G Games Nights, which is my next thing up, and we are playing Goat Crashers. The game where you're goats who want to party but can't form your own party, so you have to crash a human party. I've ordered horns. Hopefully they'll be here in time. That's it for me for now. Check my Twitter.
Hi everybody, I'm Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. You can find me here on Sundays during Tomb of Annihilation, playing as Baz the Drow Rogue Fighter. Or tomorrow, you can find me here playing during our Four Keeps game, which is run by Indoor. It's a homebrew game. It's wonderful. And I play as Coriander, the Elegant Paladin, who only makes all of the mistakes. DanaeKeener.com.
And I am the Indoor Adventurer, and if you've made it this far, you probably already knew that. But if you didn't, hi Acorns, how's it going? We do shows like this on Monday, Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and on Sundays at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to Indoor or youtube.com/IndoorAdventures or anywhere where audio casts are made available for free. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, we are going to be going into our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community but also from each other. So if you had any questions that you would like to give to myself or any of these other fine people, join us on Discord, post it in the side chat over, I think it's this way on the camera, and then we will do our best to respond. But we are going to be heading into that now, so I would like to say once again, thank you to Tyler for running this game. GB, thank you so much for guesting, and thank you to these other players for putting up with our bullshit once again this week. And we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!